here with Classical Composers, and in today's video lesson, we're learning how to open our tuba case, the parts of our tuba, the accessories that are going to be found inside of our tuba case, how to assemble our tuba, and then how to properly maintain the tuba. This is going to correspond with lessons 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the pre-method book. So let's get into it. So in front of me we have a tuba, and a tuba is a very large instrument and it's a very heavy instrument. This is a school-sized tuba. This is a 3/4 size tuba, so they do come in full size and they do get bigger than this particular one here. Tuba cases come in a variety of sizes and shapes. This happens to be a hard case, meaning that it's made out of a harder kind of plastic material. It's important to note that even though it's in this nice looking case here, that this case will not protect tuba from all damages, such as if you drop it from somewhere high or it gets hit by a car. The case won't help it too much there, but if you're walking around with the instrument, you kind of bump into the wall, it should be okay with that. So let's go ahead and open our case and see what we have inside of here. When you open your case, it's important that you open the latches up like that so that we have the correct side of the case facing up. The other way that you can check, besides the latches, is that the brand name is on the front of the case right here, and that's going to be on the top. And then a final way that you can check is that with the case, the larger part will be on the bottom and the smaller part of the lid will be on the top. So just double check and make sure that you have your case the correct way before you open it. So here we go. We're gonna open up our case right now. I got the label on top, and inside what we're gonna see is we're gonna see the tuba. That's gonna be the main thing in here. We're gonna wanna look for a mouthpiece. And then there's going to be some cleaning materials that you're going to need as well. And some of those I have and some of those I don't. So the first thing we're going to want to look for is valve oil. It might be a blue color. It'll probably be more of a clear see-through color. You're going to want to look for slide cream. It might look like this. It might be in a bottle. You might have a cleaning cloth inside of your case, a polishing cloth. You might have some little brushes to clean the mouthpiece. You might have a cleaning snake as well, but definitely the most important ones are going to be the valve oil and slide cream. Okay, so let's go over our tuba parts right now, and we're going to go ahead and take the body of the instrument out first, and I'm going to get a little bit closer so we can see this. Make sure you always hold the tuba with both hands because it is a heavy instrument and it's expensive, so we don't want to drop it. Okay, so starting with the top, this is called the bell of the tuba, and it looks kind of like a bell, so that's going to be where the sound's going to come out of. Moving forward, we're going to have our valves right here. You're going to have your first valve, your second valve, your third valve. Some of you might even have a pinky valve. You might have a fourth valve, depending on your model of tuba. You're going to have the lead pipe, which is right here. This is where the mouthpiece is going to go into once we learn how to do that. And then we're going to have our tuning slides. You're going to have your main tuning slide, which you might need to find a little bit. And the way that you can do that is that if you follow the tubing, it's usually the tuning slide that comes up first. So, or maybe it's sometimes the tuning slide that is with the lead pipe here. So it looks like our main tuning slide is going to be actually right here on the back side. So this is going to be our main tuning slide right here. And then there's going to be a tuning slide for each valve. So our first valve, there's our first tuning slide. Our second valve, there's our second one. And then our third valve tuning slide is right there. These tuning slides are going to be very important as we get more advanced at the tuba, because you'll need to learn how to use these. But for right now, as long as you can locate them, that's what's important. Okay. So how to assemble our tuba? This is actually pretty simple. What you want to do is the instrument needs to come out of the case. You want to find your mouthpiece, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and close my case so we can see a little better. I'm going to put the tuba back on our lap. We're going to gently place our mouthpiece in the lead pipe. You never want to force anything. Once it's placed in the lead pipe, you give it about a quarter twist, and then that should keep it in place. You don't need to twist it in. You don't need to, definitely don't want to hammer it in like that. Just drop it, quarter twist, and you are all good to go. And now the tuba is capable of making a sound, and now we're all set there. So now that we've built our tuba, we're going to learn to disassemble it, and then after that we're going to learn about some maintenance. Okay, so we're gonna open our case back up now, and we're going to take the mouthpiece off. We're gonna just twist it out like that, and we're gonna place the mouthpiece back in the case. And then we're gonna take the body, we're gonna place the body with both hands back in the case. The body's gonna fit in one direction, so if it's not fitting, don't force anything. We're gonna close our case back up, latch it up, and now our tuba's put away and we're good to go. Okay, so moving on to some maintenance items. Let's start with the valve oil first. And we're gonna take our body of the instrument out, and I'm gonna grab my valve oil right here. If you're ever playing and your valves get stuck, you want to use some valve oil to help them get unstuck. So the way that you're going to do that is, and we'll get a little bit closer here, is you're going to want to find the stuck tuning slide. At the top, you're going to want to carefully unscrew, and then you're going to carefully take out the valve. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the valve oil, and we're just going to place a few drops on the bottom part of it. Just a few. That should be plenty for now. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and place our valve back in the tuba. Sometimes a spring might come out, so my spring came out. I'm just going to put my spring right back in there. I'm going to place the valve back inside the casing, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the right until it locks. And it should be right about there. So now it's locked into place, and once it's locked into place, I'm going to screw it back on. I'm going to give it a few wiggles, and now this moves a lot better. And you want to make sure that you oil your valves every time that they get stuck. You don't oil your valves every single day, only if they're stuck. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to lubricate our tuning slides. And lubricating the tuning slides keeps them moving, because sometimes they might get stuck. So we're going to learn how to lubricate our first tuning slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my first valve down. Whenever you're pulling tuning slides out, you want to press your valves down. I'm going to carefully pull out the slide right here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to place my tuba down so I can get a little bit closer. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a little bit of our tuning slide grease. I'm just going to get a little bit of it on my finger, just like that. And then I'm going to carefully spread out the slide cream all along the inside of the tuning slide. Once I've spread it around like that, I'm going to go ahead and grab my tuba back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my first valve down. And you take one side and you push it in like that. You spread it around. Do the same thing with the other side. This helps spread out the slide cream. Okay, and now we're going to return it to the casing. And now we have a nicely greased tuning slide. And you're going to want to do this for your second valve, for your third valve, and for the main tuning slide as well. The final thing that we're going to learn how to do is to locate our water key, because as you're playing, what's going to happen is that the air that goes through your tuba is going to condense, and when air condenses, it turns into liquid. In this case, it'll turn into water. And if you don't empty your water key, there's going to be a buildup of water inside of your tuba, which is going to make kind of a gurgly sound. So what you're looking for is you're looking for the water key, which is on this tuba, is on the back right here. Blow a little bit of air through the tuba without making a sound. And the water should come out if there's any water that's inside of your instrument. So make sure that you're taking the time to be careful with the tuba, you're holding it with both hands, and you're oiling your valves anytime that they get stuck, and anytime that your slides get stuck, you're greasing your slides, and you're emptying that water out.